I welcome you to this space and this hour. We celebrate 96 years of faith and love.
Their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, he gives us strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak.
A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they need to go.
Step away from the demands of the day to give thanks for the life of your child, Rosalynn.
welcome all of you here. And Mom was always well informed on the issues of the day. In the White House, Mom asked Ed so many questions that he finally said that she should attend cabinet meetings. So she did, and caught a lot of flack for that. Let me finish by saying that my mother, Rosalynn Carter, was the most beautiful woman I've ever met, and pretty to look at too. Thank you.
President Carter, President Biden, Dr. Biden, Vice President Harris, the second gentleman, President Clinton, Secretary Clinton, Mrs. Bush, Mrs. Obama, Mrs. Trump, distinguished guests and friends. Rosalynn Carter would be so pleased to see that she brought all of you together on this day. I asked them how they thought President Biden was doing early in his term. President Carter was very specific on issue after issue and quite complimentary of the new president. Mrs. Carter said simply, "It's a great relief to have him in office."
My mom spent most of her life in love with my dad. Their partnership and love story was a defining feature of her life. Because he isn't able to speak to you today, I am going to share some of his words about loving and missing her. This is from a letter he wrote 75 years ago while he was serving in the Navy. My darling, every time I have ever been away from you, I have been thrilled when I returned to discover just how wonderful you are. While I am away, I try to convince myself that you really are not, could not be, as sweet and beautiful as I remember. But when I see you, I fall in love with you all over again. Does that seem strange to you? It doesn't to me. Goodbye, darling. Until tomorrow. Jimmy.
I just want to be out here today to pay my respects, and we've been good friends with the Carters for a while now, and this is history right here. I mean, what she's done as a person and for what she's done with people with mental health, it's just amazing.
It was an incredibly moving service, and I thought it did her a great honor, and she would have loved it. The music, what was said about her. She's one of the most remarkable women of my lifetime. I moved here to go to Emory, so this is my alma mater across the street, and I live now across the street. And she was a trailblazer. But the thing I value about her the most was, and it was spoken of many, many times today, was her compassion and love. And that's what she led with. She didn't lead with vitriol, and she could have many times. She just was loving and compassionate, and a person who would act on what she believed in, no matter what the consequences were. So I have enormous respect for her. She's a wonderful role model for all females.
Well, I want to be in politics, and then in 2048, I want to run for president of the United States because I want to get everyone together. That's what this country is about. It's like nowadays when if you have one difference of opinion, boom, you hate each other. That's not how it needs to be. I have friends, we have totally opposite opinions on stuff, and we're still good friends. That's how it needs to be in this country. This country is about everyone.
It was a time of hope and change. Their values were very cutting edge. And the people that I was around, we were extremely happy with the policies that they wanted to put in place. I was a therapist for 40 years. So I was in mental health, and Rosalynn was huge as an advocate for mental health services. And that's one of the things that they did when Jimmy was president, is began to really advocate for mental health. And that was sorely needed in this state.
I got this one from a friend in Plains yesterday morning. And it says, "We love you, Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter." And this is a junior ranger for a National Historic Site. And right here are peanuts from Plains, Georgia, because Plains is about peanuts, and Jimmy Carter. This is a Secret Service pin right here, and also that one as well. And then it's that one. Volunteer Service for Presidents right there. And there's a Carter one. And this is a Reagan Library. This is Richard Nixon right here, his library. And then this is the Kentucky Association of Chief of Police.